Hello, this is BBC News, coming to you live from the Founders Room. I'm William Jacobson.
And I'm Wanda Simmons.
Tonight on BBC, we bring you coverage of the latest news update from the crisis in Bangladesh, covering the issues of security, refugees, and climate change.
We assume you're already familiar with the crisis, so we'll go to you directly to our news correspondent in the field. Here is Admiral Fitzwilliams, security correspondent on location.
Thank you, Wanda. Despite weeks of negotiations, a final agreement on South Asian security has yet to be made. A resolution sponsored by the Republic of Indonesia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the Republic of South Africa has recently been leaked to the BBC, which would mandate a withdrawal of all Chinese and Indian forces from the Bangladesh region. The United Kingdom and the United States, both permanent members of the Security Council, stated that they would not support a resolution which included Indonesian and Saudi political coalition. China stated that they would be willing to commit to a withdrawal. However, India has said that it will negotiate on its own terms. Without the support of these key players, it is uncertain whether a lasting solution can be made. Logistical issues from previous weeks carried over into the newest rounds of debate. Nigeria stated that the UN intentionally ignored the problems of smaller nations because they were racist, exacerbating the security crisis in South Asia. The NGO coalition reflected the sentiment that they were being ignored with a dramatic protest where several demonstrators covered their mouths with tape and committed to a vow of silence for the voiceless people of Bangladesh. Back to you, Wanda and William.
On a related note, we'll go out again to Hermione Willow for an update on the protest of Al Jazeera.
Later, reporters associated with Al Jazeera were detained trying to disrupt the proceedings within the chamber. A lack of proper English manners was cited as a possible cause for the affair.
Thank you, Wanda and William. In the Refugee Committee, a proposal written in collaboration between Russia, the United States, China, Japan, Indonesia, and Australia was put forward. This measure would divide the globe into 4 quadrants and designate one host nation for each quadrant. Any resemblance to the partition of Africa should just be a coincidence. Brazil promptly stated that they would welcome all refugees in the country. They also added that refugees that have a family in another country would be allowed to go join them. It is still hard to understand, however, how this will be organized, since the original document does not take the situation into account. The Philippines lead the opposing movement. They say it is unrealistic to think that the UN will have access to all countries or enough money available to transport millions of people across oceans to different continents. They believe the money should be going directly to the host countries like the Philippines, which has already opened its borders to allow refugees to find a new home and to ensure basic human necessities. Saudi Arabia also refused to support the bill as it disagrees with Russia's Homestead Act, which would make those refugees assimilate into Russian culture. Furthermore, it is a bit disappointing to see delegates mocking the debate. It is ridiculous how this committee, which had discussed human rights issues through most of last week, is now not taking the matter seriously. The delegate from the United States seems to be leading this mockery movement by saying that refugee camps will be a place where millions of displaced people will, quote, have fun. Canadians and Saudis protested the lack of objectivity and seriousness by walking out of the meeting, saying it had all turned into a joke. Back to you.
Good God! This just in!
With breaking news, we'll now go out to Bethy Worcester for an alarming update.
Hi, this is Bethy from BBC. According to an anonymous source close to the Russian negotiation team, there have been talks of shady nuclear arms deal in the works. BBC News received information in passing a few short hours ago. Shall any new information surface, we shall inform you. Thank you.
Reporting on the issue of climate change is our reporter, Rick Astley.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, William and Wanda. I am Rick Astley, the American correspondent for BBC. Today at the UN Committee on Energy and Climate Control, the NGO coalition opened with this press release stating that the focus on individual states is worrisome. The NGO coalition states that the climate change must be a global initiative as the long-term effects will affect the entire world. The NGO supports Japan's suggestion that putting together a fund to help nations with their issues who can't afford to switch to clean energy or modernization is beneficial, The international community needs to solve global problems first, then economic. The NGO calls for immediate action. Stabilize the temperature, then lower it. The NGO requires an entire international system. The NGOs have information that may be unknown to diplomats and will donate resources and information. The international community are no strangers to love. The love for climate change, except for China. An anonymous source revealed to BBC that China is considering using its veto power in order to prevent the passing of the climate bill. China believes that there is a short-term solution for global warming and other climate issues. This is laminated by the fact that they tried to make a movement to create two subcommittees, one for short-term solutions and one for long-term. Today's proceedings began smoothly, but were interrupted by biased reporting and misquotations by Al Jazeera. By a 15-3 vote by all the members of the committee, Al Jazeera was kicked out of the committee. Obviously, Al Jazeera told a lie and hurt you. Live from the UN Committee on Energy and Climate Control, never giving you up and never letting you down. This is Rick Astley reporting for BBC. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that's the scoop.
For BBC News, I'm William Jacobson.
And I'm Wanda Simmons.
And apparently, like everything else in this catastrophic situation, London Bridge has fallen down.
Signing off.